What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me on these analysis. Today is a little bit different for the video. The market's closed today. So we're just going to use Portfolio Visualizer, and this is kind of to help people to understand that when you dollar cost average over a long period of time, you'll usually end up in a pretty good spot, even through multiple cycles. So we're just going to run through different scenarios with BTC and MSTR. And this is just to help control our emotions when things are kind of tough right now and these sideways or downward trajectory times. But once you get those legs that are moving up, everything's going to be fine and you'll end up forgetting about these times. And when you look back at the chart, you're going to forget how painful this moment was. So the first scenario we have is starting with $10,000 and you're adding $800 per month. And the initial benchmark is against the S&P 500, VFINX. Then asset 1 is Bitcoin and asset 2 is MSTR. And when you populate that from January 2020 to May 2025, Bitcoin would have made you $376,000 and MSTR would have made you $876,000. Just dollar cost averaging every single month. And you can see the numbers. As you can see here, your best year was 303. Your best year here was 358. And then you can see the drawdowns. Worst year, negative 64 on Bitcoin. Worst year, negative 74 on MSTR. And this is the money you would have had if you would have done the same exact thing in the S&P 500. So if you're not in MSTR, you might as well be in Bitcoin, because it is severely outperforming the standard traditional markets right now, in this time period at least. And this is kind of a look at what your portfolio would look like. So the royal blue is Bitcoin. The green is MSTR. And the gray is the S&P 500. So blue Bitcoin, green MSTR, gray blue S&P 500. So you can see how it kind of plays out. Even from the first year, when you look from January 2020 to about March 2021, you can see that nice push up that you get. You go from 10,000 to 100,000 in the snap of a finger, pretty much in a year, just dollar cost averaging, starting with 10,000, putting $800 a month, which can be doable for most people in America or in the Western world. You just, if you can kind of put your finances up front and see all your costs, you can cut costs in certain spots and use the extra money to invest, minimize your costs for things that aren't necessary, like subscriptions and all that kind of stuff. But stay out of debt and invest your money, and this can happen. I mean, from 2020 to 2025, the fact that you can make $375,000 or $800,000 in a 5-year span, that's unheard of. So the only way you hear stuff about like that happening is really going into like a leverage ETF for dollar cost averaging purposes. Obviously, there's other ways to do it, like options trading and stuff, but this is unheard of, to just put it into one stock and just dollar cost average in, and you're practically a millionaire in 5 years off of $10,000, adding $800 a month. That's crazy. So remember, during these times, it sucks. Yeah, like look at this, 2021 to 2022. I'm sure people were losing their shit. October 2021, look, December 2022, you're talking about a whole year of just sideways and down, sideways and down. So, like I said, I'm telling you this because we're experiencing that sideways chop right now. And it doesn't even look that bad here on this chart when you look. It hasn't been bad at all. This is pretty brutal, but this isn't even bad. So we have to keep our emotions in check. And when we get our leg up, we can, make decisions how we like. Maybe we can trim profits and then reinvest back in. But over time, you will end up on the better end of this. So, and we're going to do another couple scenarios, because some people have more money, some people are able to invest a little more per month. So we'll do 50,000, and let's say you're able to invest, $2,000 because you have a higher income and you have low expenses and you live below your means. So you're starting with $50,000 in the same scenario, adding $2,000 a month, or actually we'll do 1,500, and let's see where that takes you. It's going to be a nice number for sure. I mean, look at that. Bitcoin, you're sitting on 1.1, MSTR is sitting on 2.4, and S&P 500. Even then, you're still sitting on 250, and that's just the standard S&P 500. This is the most basic, non-brain power needing ETF. You don't need to know anything about the market. Just dollar cost average into the S&P 500 and just use no brain power at all, and you could have made 250K. If you wanted to take on a little bit of more risk, you could have gone on with Bitcoin, and if you wanted to take on even more, MSTR, and you're sitting on $2.4 million. That is actually insane. So that is nice to see, and that should, comfort you a little bit. And you can kind of project out based off of what you have right now, what you could see in the next couple of years. Obviously, you can use more conservative numbers, but I mean, the CAGR has been insane. As you can see, look at that, 78% and 100%. Obviously, you don't want to expect that every year, but just something to take into consideration. Use your own numbers and see where things could land for you. And some people have a little bit more money, $100,000. Let's say you're able to put up $2,000 a month. Now, from January 2020 to May 2025, you're sitting on $2 million on Bitcoin, 4.1 million on MSTR, and 400K in the S&P 500. So that's actually pretty crazy. And like I said, this sideways chop hasn't really been too bad. Just trending sideways, that's all. This was more painful for sure, but this has not been bad. If we can get through this time, I think we can see one of these nice legs up. And if you can see, this happens time and time again. You can see the sideways chop before a leg up, sideways chop, leg up, sideways chop. I would imagine a leg up. So it's easier to see here on Bitcoin when you can see the sideways action right here, and then the leg up, sideways, leg up, sideways. And let's see if we get another leg up. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this to kind of give us a little bit of a sigh of relief, zoom out that whole idea to kind of calm the nerves. I know it's frustrating at times, but I think we're still good, guys and girls, or whatever you are, 2025. But yeah, make sure you guys like and subscribe, comment. Let me know what you guys think. You think this is a good investment? Will this be another good investment in the next 5 years? Or is this going to be a trash investment and this is going to go to zero? You let me know. Is the leverage a bad idea? Is it a good idea? Do you think Sailor's full of shit? Should we keep doing this? What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. I'll catch you guys in the next one.